Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Long and welcome to I'm Mr. Long. Well, joining us here today is Johnny. He's
Hi,
one of
guys.
my friends. Yeah, he's one of my best friends. So Johnny and I will be talking about the coronavirus. Okay, so the coronavirus has been a bolt from the blue, right? No one has ever expected, but it just came. And how do you think that the coronavirus influenced the way that you live your daily life?
Well, actually, it's been like the pandemic since since March, where the virus has been infecting the whole world, and we can't even just expect that it was coming. Basically, now I think people are staying at home for the
With self-quarantine, right?
Exactly. We can't even just go out. We can't go to school. We can't go to the gym, something like that.
No, we
And
can't.
in consideration of safety, so that's the big change of our lives. We can, do the way we used to do. Some companies even can't even sell their products just because lots of countries have been shutting their doors, and so that's why they don't need much employees in their companies, and
Right.
it makes sense. I mean, if they are like firing people,
Right, it's also influencing the businesses to a great deal.
exactly.
Okay. How do you actually kill the time? Because you see, you can,
Yeah.
before you actually spend a lot of time with your friends, with your relatives, but this time you can only stay at home with your family, mate.
Yes.
So how do you actually kill the time during this?
During this quarantine, actually, I got back to Shenzhen since the beginning of February, and I was trying to be as productive as I should be. I was working a little bit from home just because there was some work that I had to do with my company. Because I'm marketing supervisor, I gotta write a lot of news related to what we are gonna do in the future to the customers overseas and locally. So I wrote news and also made some videos for promoting the products, something like that.
But you don't have the product at home, do you?
I don't, but I got some digital, like digital files,
like
that
pictures, videos.
pictures, brochures, videos, something like that, that we could combine it into the video. So yes, and I was trying to work out at home, even though I didn't have that kind of fitness equipment. I was working out. I was trying to build myself up. You can also entertain yourself, actually, like singing, whatever. It is a way that can brighten your life. I mean, instead of like staying the same the whole time, it depends on how you do it. Lots of ways, though. Okay.
Because everybody must be kept in quarantine at their home, right? And so how do we actually keep the relationship? How do we maintain the relationship? Do you have any good ideas?
Well, that's a good question. I
That's
mean, basically, especially for the couples who are doing a quarantine at home, I mean, basically they can't even see each other for real. But actually, I have heard of some ways of keeping the relationship alive.
Yes.
The first is like you should update yourself. It's like no matter what kind of changes that you have, you should improve yourself.
Yeah,
No matter your
at least you can make the other person know that you're safe. Right?
yeah, it's like that's the first thing that you know, that like you have to update your lover for how you're
through
going.
everything.
Yeah, and second thing is I just said right now, you should improve yourself. It's not like you're always the same person. You can study. You can
Read books.
Yeah, you can read some books. You can learn a new language. You can also build up your body. You can
Right,
work out.
that's very good.
So your lover always knows that you are doing something at home,
Positive. Something
positive,
You're trying to
and
improve
instead
yourself.
of like staying the same the whole time. Like let's say if the quarantine stays maybe like 3 months, and then you are still always the same, and then
Always
your
same.
lover bored with you.
Right, exactly.
Like
it's
it's
inevitable.
yeah, it's something like you should think about, like you should change.
How's the actual situation in China? For example, you're from Guangzhou, right? And I'm from Hunan, and we're now here in Shenzhen. So, what is the actual situation where we're in?
I can say that right now China is being stable.
We're gonna interview you later, okay? So,
Okay, I can say that like China is being stable right now. We are able to go shopping. We are able to as I said, eat at restaurants.
But we have to wear a mask.
Yeah, we will have to
Don't we?
wear masks whenever we go out, and this must do thing just to keep everybody safe, whoever. Except for some places like museums, cinemas,
They're
or
closed,
even
aren't they?
swimming pools. Yeah, they're still closed.
So some of the public places are actually
Exactly.
still closed, but
Yeah.
some of the public parks,
Public parks like scenic spots, any places like that,
They're
they're
available.
open.
okay, they're
Yeah,
open.
they're open. Yeah, you can get to.
Like some of the flower shop, like the flower shop is also, they're also open. For example, so
Yeah, our sponsor here.
yeah, how do you actually make a living during this quarantine? Because you see, we can't work. How do you actually make a living?
I think in China, I mean, there's according to some laws that the enterprises have to pay employees for at least the basic
Salary,
income. Yeah, income
Right.
for every month, even though they're doing the quarantine.
For example, in Shenzhen, I mean,
In Shenzhen
the
it's
basic salary is like
2,000
2,000 or something, right? It's already higher than, it's already a couple
Yeah.
of the rest.
I think it's like the second or third place
Oh, yeah.
in China.
Already
Yeah,
ranking
at
third.
least just at least it's guaranteeing the people's basic life.
Okay, to cover their daily expenses.
Yes.
Okay.
So speaking of which, I think people can also do some jobs, even though they're not doing anything like for a company. For example, if you are a translator,
Yes.
if you are a translator, you can go to the website called Upwork. Upwork is kind of a platform for
Yes.
freelancers
Yes.
where you can just you can get your jobs. And I also know that some people do the small business online like Weishop.
Yes.
Basically,
Business.
yeah, and they sell different kinds of products like food, like cosmetic products,
Right.
anything.
Like mask, facial masks.
yeah, facial masks as well. You know, during the kind
Lipstick.
of time, just to make a living. I mean, you can do anything online. I mean, basically, people rely on online business during the quarantine.
So, what do you think of this social distancing thing?
It's like it's a way of keeping people safe. Well, I also heard that lots of people they reject such kind of measure issued by the government. They don't get used to keeping a distance from people. Rather, they just go out without listening to the government
They don't give a
or yeah any kinds of organizations. I mean, according to WHO,
yes.
it would be better if we keep distance away, maybe like 1 meter away from each other. It would
That's
be
safe
better.
distance.
Yeah, that would be safer. That happens when you go out, especially to the places where lots of people gather, like maybe plaza, shopping malls, anywhere like that.
Especially metropolitan cities like Shenzhen, right? Because
Yeah.
there are all kinds of people that coming from all
Exactly.
provinces all across the world. Sometimes.
Exactly. Because it's like the modern city where everybody comes in, work,
And
and
out,
travel,
right.
and like people can just do it online. I mean, if you want to, keep your distance. If you want to stay with your friends, you can do it digitally. Like maybe you can just go to Zoom, like Zoom meeting, or go to do video calls with your friends as many as possible. Just to, I mean, it's also a way of keeping your friendship or relationship alive. It's based on such environment. We should be safe for a better tomorrow.
Right. So, do you think we should cancel our plans, or what if for those people who already have their trips planned?
As I heard of it so far, like for example, maybe in March when people was planning to go abroad and they booked the tickets earlier, it had been cancelled actually,
Oh.
but they were able to get refund.
What did you learn most from this outbreak, from this pandemic? What did you learn? What's the, let's say, biggest lesson that you have learned from this?
The biggest lesson is like we should always be safe.
Right.
Because now I can see that the death tolls have been increasing in some countries, like even 10,000 people
Wow.
dead even more than that. And life matters. I mean,
Sure.
in
Money
this
matters
point, I
more.
mean, you during this time keep yourself safe and
And
decide
it's also to keep others safe. Keep
Yeah.
yourself safe as well.
not only keep yourself safe but to keep others safe. Also, you will have to have some savings.
Exactly. This is very important.
This is very important, and like especially when we were talking about the jobs some people might have lost just
Yes.
during this pandemic, just because some
So
companies don't
even if they
anymore.
didn't lose it, but they still just can get like a minimum salary. Right?
Yeah, at least. So some people might not think that is enough, so they might have to suffer from the crisis, the financial crisis.
So it's not just the health crisis; it's also a financial
financial crisis
Yeah, exactly.
for some people.
Instability.
In some places, especially the countryside, So having some savings is like the insurance when it comes to the crisis that you have to suffer from, and also get yourself an insurance.
Yeah,
It's,
insurance is also.
Yeah, so when it
very
comes to like
important.
very serious illness, or when it comes to a non
Diseases.
event or
Events.
anything that might come to your life or come to your parents' life, an insurance should be a thing that covers your unknown events in the
Yeah,
future that might
risks.
be coming. So yeah, you would never know what comes next
Yeah, tomorrow or
tomorrow or other things.
no one knows.
No one knows. So just cherish the moment that you have so far. Love the people you love. Just don't be selfish of showing your love to someone you care, your parents, your lover, your brothers, anyone. So just it's a very important message that I want to deliver to anybody. So it's
Yeah, this is
yeah,
very
this
great
is something
message.
that I've learned from the pandemic so far.
What are the things that you want to do most after this, outbreak? When everything goes back to normality, what would you do and what do you want to do most?
Well, say travel, like the Philippines, or I got lots of friends from the Philippines.
Oh, cool.
Kamusta po? And I'm planning to also study in the Philippines for my postgraduate degree.
Take me there, please.
Oh yeah,
I
you
would
can
be
come and
definitely
visit.
interested in that. I mean, because I think Southeast Asia is very beautiful and it's picturesque.
Yeah, I
It'd be a
mean
great place to stay.
exactly. I mean,
So
that's
when are you
like-
going?
Maybe next year in January. I mean, if nothing is wrong, I mean, if everything is going all right, I'll try to apply in August, and I can't wait to see everybody in the Philippines.
Do you take some test or?
Actually, I passed TOEFL.
Oh,
I passed the TOEFL last December.
that's cool.
Yeah, I passed TOEFL last December, and I meet the requirements of the school. So what I'm doing next is to apply with my documents, including my transcripts and other materials that they require. Then I would just submit them like by August, and then if everything goes
Well,
smooth, I might be able to enroll in the school next year in January.
cool.
So
I wish I
Can't
would just. I wish I would just as young.
yeah.
So, thank you, Johnny. Thank you very much for being with us today, and really appreciate that. And thank you very much for tuning in as well, and from all around the world. And thank you very much for watching. We hope to see you soon next time.
Bye.
Until next time.